Hi everyone, I'm here with Sony's fantastic a6300 little crop sensor, 24 megapixel, 4K video, amazing little camera. Before I bought this, I was a die-hard Nikon fan. And first off, I bought a passive Nikon adapter, which, you know, cheap, eBay, you know, 50 quid job, goes on there happily, you know, and it does indeed work with your older AFD lenses because they have an aperture ring, so you can actually control your exposure. Nothing goes through to the camera, no data, no control, no autofocus, no auto exposure. Okay, so that kind of works. They're all a bit badly made and a bit sort of cheap and nasty really, but you know, they just about work. But what if you've got a newer G lens like this Sigma? This is an AFG lens which doesn't have an aperture ring, as most of them don't now, relies on communication with the camera to set the exposure. No, nothing. You can't even control the exposure. It's locked at its lowest exposure, its darkest setting, so pretty much useless. So at that point I stepped up and I bought an adapter with a mechanical iris control, so I could finally expose my G lens properly via this ring on, and this is a Novoflex. So this is one of the much better adapters. It's really solid, it's nicely made, it beautifully mounts to the camera and to the lens, and it's got this aperture ring. Unfortunately, the movement is very small. Because it's got to fit a wider range of lenses, it's got no markings, so you can't tell what aperture you're at. There's also no communication with the lens, so no EXIF data, no autofocus, no iris control, or indeed image stabilizer. So recently I graduated up again to this thing, and this is the Fotodiox Pro new Fusion Nikon to Sony E-mount adapter, and this is fully electronic. It communicates all of the lens data, autofocus, auto exposure and image stabilizer to the camera. But how well does it work? Well, we've got another video for that. This is just to show you the difference really. So this one is available. As you can see, this one allows me to control the exposure through the camera as you would a Sony lens, and also the focus. So the camera is now able to autofocus and auto expose, and if it had an image stabilizer, use the image stabilizer in the lens. Fantastic. Finally, an adapter that does everything. The only thing it doesn't do is video mode. It doesn't autofocus in video mode. Auto exposure is okay, and the image stabilizer is good, but it doesn't autofocus properly in video mode, so that's the only downer. But that's your options if you want to use Nikon lenses, or indeed Canon lenses actually, because there are adapters for those. You can either have a completely passive, do-nothing, cheapo eBay job like this. It literally just connects the camera to the lens. You can step up to one with an aperture ring, which means that you control your aperture but nothing else. Or you can go right the way up to the Fotodiox, which communicates everything. These are about £50 on eBay. Not really worth getting, frankly. These are available from between about 50 to 300 because there are varying quality levels of these. And then this one, the Fotodiox, and others like it. Other manufacturers are available, but this is the first really good one I've come across. These are more like 300 to 400 pounds. And these have the added benefit actually of having a really nice mount on the bottom, so you can screw your adapter onto the rails under your camera, or indeed straight onto your tripod to support the camera one side and the lens the other, which is much more solid than the E-mount, which I must say has proven to have a little bit of flex in it when we're focusing. So those are your existing options as of December 2016 for mounting Nikon lenses on Sony E-mount bodies. I've been John Fry. Thanks very much for watching.